And we are live.
Right on, right on. Welcome to episode 2 of Feeding the Trolls podcast for DQT, where we talk about the game we love and only the game we love. Get you muted on Twitch here. For 1 hour before reset for your convenience, I am Nib, the second best choice for a Dragon Quest Tact podcast co-host. And I am joined by what's going to be your nickname this week? Best Orochi Slayer NA
I guess
Kage.
that, or perhaps global first handsome crab clearer of stage 9.
Are you really? Thought it was
Concern.
Foxy.
No. I mean using the handsome crab unit to clear stage 9 because my dumb ass put blunt on him.
Got it. So I can be global first non-poison cheese, Orochi Clear 8 NA best number 1.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't do it on stage 8 without the poison. I was like, oh, not happening. All right, I'll change strategies. I'll do what everybody else is doing and don't bitch too much about it because it's heavy RNG, super heavy RNG.
So the way that I beat 8 is like 0 RNG. The only thing, is you can get crit and then you will fail. Or you can I'm still working on critting. Because I think to get 3 medals on that stage, what do you have to do 2,500 damage, which is for sure a crit. Um, and what's the other one? I already beat it with no KOs. And then the third medal is under 10 turns or under 8 turns or 5 turns.
It's
Fucking
brutal.
5
It,
turns.
it's it's
5 turns.
it's absolutely brutal, and it's not even the stage. I mean, yeah, if you can get that to 3 stars on 8, that's great because then you could just use 10 skip tickets and move on with your life for the month or the week rather. But
Yeah.
that's not happening for most people. I don't even think I'm getting 1 medal on that stage, so I am ultra fucked, and I'm just gonna have to grind it out.
Yeah. So that's kind of the advantage of having a non-poison strat, is because it's way less RNG. I've pretty much got my turn order set, equipment set, and then I just need to bear with 10 matches. And maybe one of those 10 matches will be a crit, and then I can get 3 medals, and then just skip ticket every week on level 8. And then I don't even like who even cares about level 9 and 10. So
I mean, realistically, if 9 starts giving me problems, if I feel it's too RNG, I'll just go back and clear 8 2 more times or 1 more time for the week just to have a chance at the sword because that's the cutoff. 7, anything before 7 doesn't matter. You want to get that sword and not have to
yeah.
pay 50k tokens for it, which I don't know anybody who would, but you know.
Yeah. Right on. Well, so we have the Orochi event. You know what? I gotta say, a lot less salt and bitching than I anticipated. Even Chase and Platt are seemingly happy with it, and I completely figured that people wouldn't take into account this is forever and like you don't have to beat all 10 levels, but actually I see some pretty good attitudes and I was hoping to bitch about it today, but the community pleasantly surprised me. What about you? What do you think about that?
I feel bad for Platt because when I came into his YouTube stream, like late at night, he was still going, and it definitely it was wearing on him. He was like, he was not giving up until he got a clear on it. I'm like, good for you, man. You know, that's the right attitude to have with this because the only thing I see here that people seem to be upset about, and I agree with them on that, is the fact that there isn't the stamina refund yet. The Japan got it. I understand that. Like, they already had it at that point. It sucks to lose 20 stam because everybody's used to trial and error. So I'll give them that. I mean, I'm a little bitter on it too, but it's,
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where if you can't beat it, go back and do a lesser stage. Don't lose half a day's worth of stam trying to get a clear. Just don't do it.
Especially this week because we got the campaign for books, the most important campaign by far. So your extra stem. I'm just stop farming stories, stop farming events. Get the books now while you can.
Right, because we don't know
So
when it's going to come back again. That I think that event's been the most sporadic of them all. The tomes one is like kind of the most
yeah,
sought after. half
It's the least
stand,
reliable.
half stand for story. We've only seen that one once. I really like that one, but now is the time to try and get every skill you can up for your Orochi clear party. I've kind of done a little overkill with Emperor Slime because you don't really need to have him healing like 600 HP. He needs to just be sufficient. So he's
Yeah.
kind of at the overkill stage right now, which isn't bad. I think for 10 I'm going to need it, but for like 9 and below, if you can heal for like 500, you're fine.
So I thought about Emperor Slime too. I went ahead and used an orb on him to chase his rolling in his grave at the thought of using an orb. Uh, so I got him to S5. I don't think he needs S6, but I want him to S5 just so he can equip armor. And then he got a bunch more MP, so that helped a lot. Also, I thought about, what if Seraphy comes and Seraphis is better than Emperor Slime in every way, which she is. It's okay. Having more than one really good S-ranked healer is good because there's going to be more events like Sorrow's Peak where you can use up each unit and then you can't use them again, right? So I might even, by that virtue, invest in Kiro. Just have a third really good S-ranked healer. You know what I mean?
Right, because it doesn't hurt to have it, and I mean, it's one of those things where you want to fill up your roster. Having a roster that you can count on as opposed to 5 or 10 units that you're locked in on for every event. But what happens when those units aren't effective for that event? Or what happens when, again, you're doing an elimination series where you have to get 25 units and you could only fill 10 of those spots comfortably? Well, you're fucked. I mean, you're looking to scramble at that point for the entire month just to catch up.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, you never know. You never know with gacha games. So, don't you can't rest on your laurels, and also you can't just believe all the prophecies. You have to just keep your mind open all the time. They can throw anything they want at you. So
kind of like skill blossoming. I mean, it's crazy. We're going to have units that people have never even touched. Like, I can't remember the last time I used Metal Dragon. I think he's still sitting at level 90. So I may actually reevaluate that and be like, maybe I'll use an orb on him. Maybe even 2. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I don't know about Metal Dragon. It's I think it's like a 30% chance for the missile. So that I thought it was like 100% chance. I was like, holy shit, this guy's just like a turret that just fires and it lowers your defense by 50% chance. That's pretty damn good. Anyway, we'll see. So let's talk about that. So the skill blossoms came out in Japan, and so my first thought was every single unit that came out has like a +1 movement, right? And so not every single unit, but like a ton of these. Yeah, majority of them. And these are the units that probably could use that +1 movement. And I think one of them, the squid, you've got +2 movement if his health is at 100%, right? And he also got the Shunpo move, just like Elena has, but the Bang version. So he's pretty cool now in Japan. So I'm thinking like, okay, are they gonna just inflate movement as a meta so that like now the minimum is 3, so 4 isn't really that fast now? Like if you have a Draguar and Hellion or Boreal with their 4 movement, right now that's like blazing fast and really awesome. Are they gonna bump those up to 5, or are they just gonna kind of raise the floor so that everyone's the same? Which I don't know, kind of boring to me. But what do you think?
It's one of those things where unless they're going to actually upgrade the dimensions of the maps, which I don't see them doing, I don't think they're going to move to having more movement per se to like 5 or even something crazy like 6, because that'd be overkill at that point. I mean, you'd go into arena matches and you'd have somebody in the back row turn 1 just hitting on people. It would kind of really throw the balance of stuff off. But what I do like is that, I mean, for the whales and even, for people who've put a lot of money into this game, and we're sitting with a bunch of Max Awaken S units we've never even had 2 thoughts of. Well, now we can look back at these guys and be like, okay, well, maybe I can make some use out of him, or maybe I can make some use out of Dark Lord again, because, I mean, Dark Lord kind of got pushed to the side after all these other spellcasters came out.
Yep. Yeah, Dragon Lord, regular human form. Yeah, he's got a big, huge upgrade. So I only have 0 Awakening on him. F. Oh well.
I think I have like 1 or 2. Nothing to write home about. I never really pulled hard on those banners. The early ones, anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that if they just inflate the baseline, that it kind of makes fast units right now a little bit less exceptional. Is that a good or bad thing? I don't really know. My strategy right now is high agility, high movement rushdown in arena, which is very effective right now. But like I can imagine that if everyone is now doing that, then it really kind of puts a blunt on that strategy. But we'll see. I'll adapt. The thing I didn't like about, and I think we agreed on this, was that um, of course, the system is set up that you can max everything in everyone's skill tree. It just takes time and gold and a lot of both, I think. And I was like super excited about this because I thought that you would actually be limited in choices. And here's where everyone starts to piss all over their monitor of what I said, because of what I said. Um, if you limit your choices, then people have different stuff, right? You can put a different flavor on, say, your S Dark, right? If you want your S Dark to be like a main tank in PvE, you probably would not put agility in him. You would maybe put more HP or attack in him, right? If you want him like specially for arena, you would put him all in agility, right? Or whatever you think is the right strategy. So, um, everyone's S Dark is a little bit different. And then I thought, why is this so grindy? We've already spent the gold to get them ranked up. We've already spent the XP to get them leveled up, and now we have to grind/buy materials to unlock the flowering thing, and then use them in order to scale up those things that we've unlocked. And then spend like what is it, like 30,000, 40,000 gold per unit? I think I could be way off on that, but it's a lot of gold in a game where everyone except for you is strapped for cash at all times. And I threw out the idea, that maybe it shouldn't be as grindy and it shouldn't cost gold at all. And of course, got pushback, but that's just kind of the meme, is everyone has to disagree with me. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw the skill system, my first thought was this, action MMO RPG game I played called Path of Exile, where you had to look at the map, you had to plan where you're going to go, because not everybody's going to go the same routes to unlock skills and whatnot. And then I looked at, all the pictures. I got information from Delzor, and I started counting. The 315. What he told me was those are for upgrades. Well, you can unlock everything, which is super easy to do. That's the easy part. The 315, you have to take those units into battles, get waste them to get points, and then level them up. So at that point, if you've actually gotten to like rank 7 with these units and you max them out already, and then you have to go back and do all that, you're at a disadvantage. So now I'm like thinking long term, okay, when S7 comes out, or rank 7, now I don't want to level up any of these units, wait for Blossom, and then bring them in. And it's like, holy fuck, I'm like thinking like next level just for like simple shit. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, you're way overthinking the developers at that point. they don't, I don't think they put much thought into it, to be honest with you. So. That's a really good point. Yeah, you have to keep grinding after you're done grinding them, and it's so grindy and so gold intensive. Did we really need that? No. I mean, maybe didn't. Japan feels differently because they're in a different spot than we are. I have really no idea. But right now, where global is, if that came out, that would be like the first time that I joined the bitching squad. Is holy shit, terrible idea. So.
Well, yeah, just to give you an idea, lifetime gold, I'm almost to 2 million. Day one player, heavy stam usage early on for story, pumping out as many activities as I can, and not going super heavy on gear rerolls. I did some gear rerolls. I did what I needed to do for abilities. I sunk a lot of gold into those. But there are people who went heavier on the ability and the gear, and even if they are close to me in terms of gold, they're not going to be anywhere able to even be equipped for this when it comes out in like 2 or 3 months from now. My estimate, I'll go on record, I'm going to say September. I know a couple of people are thinking October. But we don't get those 100K gold packs that JP gets. We don't get those, cool, fancy things where you can buy a bunch of gold.
Not yet.
Not yet, anyway. Those would help, but those would only put a Band-Aid on it. So I don't know what gold regen or, gold generation per day looks like for Japan and how it would equate, because, again, they're ahead of us by, months. So just taking a look at somebody on their side of things, I can maybe get a gauge of how fucked or unfucked we are in the situation. I don't think we're going to be as bad because they're bringing it out in lumps. They're bringing it out in like 15 units at a time. Now, devil's advocate, well, what happens if they just drop in like 30 or 50 units to global because at that point we have the content. That's going to be a nightmare for anybody who's trying to do everything. And I will tell you
Salt
right
the
now,
flow.
don't do it. Pick a couple of units. Don't
Yeah.
try and do everything. You're going to go bankrupt. It's going to be like day one players all over again trying to rank everything up. We were poor. We had nothing.
Yeah, it's a great point. I hope they stick to exactly the schedule that Japan is getting. It seems like it's a nice steady drip that they're getting. Just stick to that, you know.
Right, because even like you said, if it's 30 to 50K to max out a unit and they're doing 15 units, that's
I could be way wrong on that, but it's a
well,
lot.
just to give an idea. Even if we say that, that's still like 450K gold. That's
Yeah,
a lot. That's
yeah,
that's not counting the materials like you mentioned as well. And something that Shane brought up that I actually like is, I mean, this is Shane we're talking about here. He actually said to save your A rank Medini medals because you can use those for the blossoming. So now I'm like, I don't even want to use those for the irises. I'm going to hold on to any of those A rank tokens because I don't know how much of a pain in the ass the blossoming items are going to be to get.
right. Yeah, I mean, this is the resource management meta, right? So
Yes, it is.
we have to fucking figure it out. By the way, I just got a text from my auto repair guy. It said your Jeep is done. I don't own a Jeep.
Well,
So,
congratulations.
did you guys put a Jeep in my Nissan? So, anyways, fuckers.
Well, there's same people who
Anyway,
tell me my credit card's fucked up for Netflix and I need to call them. Well, I just steal everything off the internet, so fuck you.
let's go dark. All right, so we've talked about the blossoming thing. Any last points there?
Um, it's one of those things where I'm going to need to see it in action. I'm going to need to see what happens if we have rank 7 way before Blossom. And I'm just going to hope that whatever they do, they don't go too excessive in terms of the difficulty of content and expecting everybody to have all that maxed out to finely tune like a Battle Road 9 or some craziness. Because they are going to raise the CP level itself of the content, even though sometimes that number doesn't mean anything. But I'm expecting them to try and fine tune things to even a higher point to make whales and the most dedicated players have a tough time clearing content because they like doing that to people. I mean, just look at Orochi 10, look at Orochi 9. They want you to have a hard time getting these things done.
Right. Hey, by the way, how's your Battle Road 8s doing for slime, inorganic, and undead?
So I literally did inorganic golem on the fly on stream earlier right before I cleared 9 just to get the golem some more defense and HP. And that wasn't too bad. I didn't get a no death because I'm just doing it really quick to see if I can get through it. But there's definitely a few fights where I feel like they're not as hard as the counterparts. But that's only because I've ranked up a lot of things to 6. I haven't leveled them fully, but it's just where they're not as bad. I think the worst one I could say was probably Imp 8, and I still haven't cleared that. That's like a fucking nightmare with that, peacock and just going around just beating the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah, that one. And also Dancing Flame, inorganic, that one I hated that one because of the sleep RNG.
Oof.
Yeah. Anyway, but I gotta say, I'm a little bit burnt out on Battle Road. It's kind of like the novelty is gone. That's cool that we can use our little units for stuff, but now I'm just like, well, I just really want to get the medal and be done. So.
Well, yeah, because we've done that song and dance so many times. I mean, I didn't even fully max out my Ragnar and Scorpion, and I just didn't. I didn't get them to 100. I could have, but I was at a point where I've done it so many times where, do I really need these units up? Well, maybe the Scorpion. Maybe I could have used the Scorpion, but not the not Ragnar, because I don't have any heroes. He's the only fucking hero I got, so it's like, what's the point?
Right. Cool. So we got the blah 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 blah. I'm looking at my list here. Oh, so a little thought experiment. Now, what if rank 6 and 7? So rank 6 came with a lot of salt and a lot of pushback. What if rank 6 actually was released with the game when it first came out? Would that still have elicited such a strong response? What do you think?
Probably not. It would have put people in a bigger state of confusion.
Mm-hmm.
at that point they probably would have been grateful. They, it would have been weird. It would have been one of those things where it's like, wow, this was really special. This was tailored to global, and we still would have been dirt poor. It's just a lot of us wouldn't have been able to overcome that threshold for much longer in the game, which could be a good or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. But it's one of those things where if you release something in bulk early on, people don't seem to be as angry as when you start changing what they loved after the fact, because they don't know what that change is at that point. So I think that's where people would have been more receptive to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So my theory, Kaga's saying people would have still complained. Yeah, probably, but I think it would have been a very different kind of complaint because hindsight is 2020. Right now, we know how it felt to have that sprung on us at a later time when we were aware of what orbs are and what they cost. Back in the beginning of the game, I think none of us were aware of any of those things. So we didn't have that hindsight. I think if we just saw, okay, wow, units have a really high ceiling, that would have been maybe a complaint that it takes too long to level up or something. But every gacha does that. Like every gacha has really long, uh, XP gain curve. So yeah, just a fun little experiment. I do think that if folks in the chat, what do you think if you didn't have that the hindsight that you have now? Say it was like rank 7 right at the beginning. If we just had like a gigantic ceiling right away, would people have been shitting themselves nearly this much? I don't think so. But anyway,
I think we would have seen a lot more rank 7 of units that nobody would ever get. Like Metal Dragon, probably you see more rank 7s of him. Prism Peacock,
yeah,
you'd see all sorts of weirdness in that regard. Which, well, that may actually work out for them because of Skill Blossoming coming out at the same time too. So
right.
I don't know. Would have created a different mindset and a different meta. And just gonna say again that Baramos has worked out pretty well for me. And everybody said he was a shit unit. I hate you.
Yeah, yeah. That should be your thing. Like obviously Baramos is your thing, but also the fuck you Japan meta. I'm gonna do my thing, right?
Yeah, and it's working out.
And
I mean, everything's bang weakness for Orochi for his minions. So I
yeah,
mean, Baramos just cuts into him.
yeah, he's really good for this one, for sure. That's exactly what I'm talking about. More people need to do that. Find those hidden tricks that Japan players say sucks. Figure it out.
And
Uh,
what I'm hoping for, this is gonna sound crazy, but because of how his opinion is in the Japanese meta, I'm hoping he gets a skill blossom at some point because that would be broken. That would be
if he gets
absolute.
like, yeah, if he gets, I think they're all going to get one. It just depends on the scope of magnitude of the skills. But he might get like what +1 movement or something, or um, fuck, I don't know, more MP regen or something. I don't know.
MP
What, what
regen
would
would be
what would you
nice
want
for
him
him.
to have?
+1 move and potentially, I would say, something to upgrade his Necron wave, which causes confusion. Maybe
Yeah,
upgrade the range of it by 1, or with a percentage for it to actually hit, because that confusion's helped me out in arena a couple of times where like a True
right.
Lord Dragon form, I've sent him. And then he goes into the back and he like one shots the F rank unit. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. That'd be a great idea. So Squishy Mage doesn't have to get up in your face, right? So
Right.
right on, right on. Okay. So let us move on to. Boy, this hour goes by fast as fuck. Um, Lucas. Lucas has volunteered to be our first victim. Full disclosure, I didn't want to put that much work into this, to be honest with you. I
Me
wanted to
neither.
just kind of Kage and I kind of take a superficial look at the screenshots he sent us and give like a pretty surface level, like here's where you're at, here's what you should be working on. I'm not gonna like dig into the strategy of beating what you haven't beat yet. Maybe that's the thing in the future, but so he sent you the screenshots too, right,
He
Kage?
sent me them, and then he also updated me and said that he had cleared the story, which I guess the main incentive for people to clear it was to do the Orochi trials. So
Yeah.
that's one way to get people to actually go through content, is put it behind a pretty good lock. Well, if you want to try out this new permanent content, I don't know what to tell you. You need to go beat the last boss of the story. Sure
Yeah.
enough, Lucas went and he did it. Proud of you.
Good job, Lucas. So are you able to pop those screenshots up in Twitch?
Let me see.
If not, I mean, I don't know.
Let me take a
You've
look
got him. I've
here.
got him.
See how we would do this. Let's go back and go here. Yeah, you sent me a lot of them. Let's see. Let me try something creative here.
So just while you're doing that, I'll just talk through some things here. We got the master rank. Everything's gold. It's fine. Really not much that can be said about that. Looking at your book inventory, obviously you should be putting your stamina in books right now because you have jack shit for A books. You have 68 Sis A books, which is great. But I think it goes without saying, like everyone should, but especially you should be farming books. Um, got your awakening shards looking pretty good there. It looks like you pretty much got what you're supposed to get from events, except for the mystery. You should have more than that. And if you already spent a mystery shard, then never mind. But you only have 32. I think 90 came out in events, and then you only have to buy a few more from the medals. So not sure why you didn't get those mystery shards there. Again, if you spent the 100 already, fine, go for it. Looking at your your mini Mendini medals. That's a fucking tongue twister. 10 rainbow, 32, 34 gold, 304 silver. Um, yeah, I mean, you're free to play because you don't even have the passport, right? So 10 rainbow, just keep holding on to those. I would probably just buy an orb once you have 30. 34 gold. That's really up to you. I use them for irises, but you could just like Shane suggested, use them for the blossom materials, but that's a long time from now, so
It
maybe not.
is. It's going to be 3 to 4 months, if even that. Could be longer. We don't really know. Could be shorter
Yep.
too. So yeah, we'll see.
And here's one way you can instantly dramatically increase your account is spend 304 silver medals on XP scrolls and then spend the scrolls. Just do it because you've got a lot of underleveled stuff that is blocking you. And we'll get into that later. Looking at your awakening material or your rank up materials, pretty decent for mid-level stuff. You got a good amount of the lowest level stuff. Still got a lot of rank 6 orbs. Actually, you're doing pretty well on rank up, I would say, for a free to play account. So don't worry about that. You also sent your what did you send? Equipment is looking fine. I don't know if you have all the A rank equipment stuff. I don't know why you bought the fire shield from Arena. What the hell was up with that? Like, why did you do that? And this is where the roast part comes in. A free to play player like you should save your arena medals for Halberd Source. Period. Because that you can awaken him max to the max without that much trouble. Honestly, like in a few months, at worst. Even if you suck at arena. So.
Like, and
So
even there, even if he was to get the liquid metal, let me ask you this for Orochi: what's your stats on your liquid metal armor right now, as opposed to the inorganic armor for Golem?
good question. Let me pop in the game here. So we got the Golem Armor. Where is that? Blah blah blah
So
blah.
Golem armor is 16 defense, and then another
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
13, 30, and 3%.
So it's 16. So well, that's only 30 HP. It's significantly worse, I would say, than the Liquid Metal. Liquid Metal has um, let's see. Uh, I don't know. It's about the same actually. Yeah. So I didn't realize Liquid Metal was that mediocre.
Okay,
So
so I mean, because some people were like, well, maybe I should get the liquid metal for Orochi for the Golem, and it's like, well, just go clear the battle road, try and get that done, because why spend 2K arena medals on the armor when you can go and get some more awakenings for the Dino at that point, the little
yeah,
Halbersaurus.
totally, absolutely. So yeah, Lucas, stop wasting your arena medals, dummy. Let me see here. Your roster. Clearly, you're not a BR farmer, which is fine. Not everybody has to be that. Not sure. I mean, you have so many BR monsters at level 1. Um, you know, BR is so easy, and you're like Mr. Free to play. I have troubles because I'm not a whale. What do you do? Why are you not leveling up your battle road stuff? That's free to play territory. That's where you thrive. They're not ranked up at all. Um, boy, oh boy, what have you been doing?
Mr. Rabbit
Oh
should at least be higher than level 3. Why?
God, aren't you a day 1 player? Uh, Lucas, what's your Twitch? Are you Shichioka? Yeah, that's who you are. Okay. Um, you're a day 1 player, right? What have you been doing with your time? So,
I'm not playing the
uh,
game.
not playing the game, yeah. And so this leads to a nice punchline here. But let's get through the rest of it. So we're looking at the A ranks. We got, uh, you've invested in Bone Baron, Lethal Armor, Hellion. Your Hellion is great. 4-star level 100. Good, good. You got a Max Awakened. Pickled Slime, he's not level 100. He's not A6 for some reason. You should do that. Your Armor PN is A6, great. I like it. Your Ragnar is A6, perfect. And Max Awakened, good job. S ranks. So free to play count's not going to have a ton of these, but you do have Awaken 4, S6, Rebel Reptile. So that is awesome.
Well, there's one thing I noticed that's really upsetting. His Green Dragon isn't max awakened.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's 3. It's fine. It's fine. That was a very stamina-heavy event.
It was the only unit you could farm in the event. It was the only one. What was in other units? What the hell?
I don't know. Don't look at my account because I don't have Max Awaken either.
Oh, you motherfucker.
I invested most of my... I tried to get the perfect rolls on my Flame Sword. That's what I spent on. So.
Oh, how'd that work out?
So he's also got a Max... Or he's Awaken 3, Dragonlord True Form. Excellent. S6, level 110. Very, very good. So I'm guessing that your arena, you just bring those 2 guys to every match, which you should. Nothing else really stands out as far as your S units. Oh, you have Tomahawker at S6 Awaken 1. So you've been working on him. So what the fuck are you wasting medals on your Flame Shield? Just focus on Tomahawker, or whatever his name is.
I mean, what the Flame Shield's like, what, 400 arena tokens? That's like half of a token.
That's half an Awakening.
Yeah,
that's
at rank 1 and 2, you only need 1 of those.
You love to use that meme where the cat points at his head. So there you go. There's my smart meme at you, Lucas. So not so smart. Yeah, really nothing else to say about your roster. So now this leads us to the punchline, your home screen. Anybody not looking at his screenshots want to guess as to how many gems this guy has?
Ooh, let's see. I think he sent me a picture of his home screen. Let me see.
Oh, you don't have that?
Oh, nope. Hold on. No.
You don't have
yes,
it? So
I do. I do have it. Here we go. Okay. All right.
So do you know what I'm getting at, right?
Yes.
So let me just set this up. I know that you, Lucas, and this is not like I'm not trying to come at you here, man. You're a good guy, but you have been like one of the biggest voices for like you have to save for half anniversary, and like stamina is so expensive, and all these whales can just spend to keep. This motherfucker has 49,000 gems. There you go. It was your choice, Lucas, not to spend those gems. And you know what? Good for you. I admire the willpower to save up for half anniversary, because that's when you get the most bang for your gems, right? Good. But you know what I mean? Like, this is your fault that you haven't spent the stamina. So, and your account, like, it's so, like, there's so many opportunities for massive growth in the stamina department. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It depends on what your goals are, short-term and long-term, but that's a really good haul already. If you're saving for anniversary, you still have, like, what, 2 months? Yeah, you're sitting pretty good. I would just spend a few. 49,000 gems, everybody.
I mean, realistically, he just needs to bank 30K for, the best anniversary banner that you could do one time, 10 pulls or 10 pulls, and you get a bunch of units, and then you could use the others for, well, I don't know, maybe this crazy unit called Bizarro? I don't know.
Yeah, the best unit in the game, whatever.
That'll be
Right.
obsolete in 2 months, right? Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah. Anyway, well, the last thing that I'm roasty on is rank 19. Come on. Free to play should be day one. Free to play should have a very easy time getting rank 20 right now. I can understand if it's a little bit harder to go higher than that for free to play, but you should be rank 20. For as active as you are in the community, this should not be rank 19 right now. So
Now, what
anyway,
I think attributed to that is the fact that he doesn't have the battle pass. Like, he has the icon for it, so he
right.
doesn't have the fast speed. And, I'm all about saving time even in battle roads where, if you could shave 20 seconds off a run that you got to do 400 times to max a unit out, take that 20 seconds and run with it because it's going to save you time. But I can't imagine doing that on fast speed. That sounds awful.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like fast is like what normal is, and then what we're using is fast, and then like whales should have an even faster speed, maybe.
Like a ludicrous speed.
Yeah. Ridiculous speed, ludicrous speed.
Let's do it.
Anyway,
Shit.
any other roasts you want to give? I just kind of took most of the oxygen there.
Let me look
For
through.
Lucas.
I want to see if there's anything else I want to comment on. I mean, other than the fact that he cleared the story after he was incentivized to do so from the game itself, I mean, not really too much I could say. I mean, I'm not too happy with his bronze arena medal. I mean, I feel like he could do better. He's a very smart guy.
Yeah.
What happened there?
DLTF and Royal Reptile are both like maxed almost. I mean, just not max awakened, but they're awakened enough. He should be rocking at least silver medals, not bronze medals. So,
I mean,
good point.
especially if, well, we don't know if it was, week one he got that bronze, but if it was week one, like, what the hell? That was when everybody was fresh. Like, your units those guys are above the average cut. Most of the people we were fighting week one, it was, S4 Wit Knights and S4 Bone Barons, and, even
Yeah.
people's Zomas weren't max leveled at that point. They were getting rolled all over the place.
Yep. Exactly. You could bring in these two guys, so you got 115 weight, and then you have some decent A units, right? So you could bring let me look at this. Ragnar Hellion, that's already two that would be great to bring. Then you're at what is that? 100 175 weight. No. I'm not a math whiz. 185 weight. Yeah.
I think that sounds
Whatever it is. Yeah, not at max yet. And then you could just bring your F Ghost or something. And that should be enough to get you like top 500. Easy. You know what I mean?
Apparently, Lucas lost credibility here after a bunch of setbacks today.
Oh man, yes, Risefall. That is the whole point of today's roast is Mr. Actually, the original Mr. Actually, Lucas, to destroy his credibility. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Lucas, for volunteering to be the first volunteer. You have some really good stuff in your account, some really cringe stuff in your account. We've told you what the easy stuff to fix is. Spend your gems, get some stamina, just man up, do it.
I mean, at least do five 10 pulls on Bizarro. What's the worst that could happen? You get a Rhino?
Yeah. Rhino's a good character.
It's not bad at all. I picked up 2 today. I'm happy about that.
Right on. Good. Okay, moving on. So, Juliante, we were hoping to get her. I think a lot of people figured that the next update would be the Beast Festival. I was looking forward. There was a Summer Festival, which is it the same thing? Is it Beast Summer? Is that the same thing?
I'm not really sure. I thought the Summer Festival kind of tied in things, kind of like how the Slime Festival was sort of like a fall festival. I don't understand.
Oh.
They like change everything, like change the names of everything. Well, in fact, I feel like they really diluted our timeline just with like how they did the rank 6 and how they did some of the other banners out of place, which I'm all for it because it's different. It's like, well, how far different can they go? But at the same time, I don't know if we're getting new content next week or if we're waiting until the end of the month to get stuff now. Because I was comparing this to kind of in regards to the Medini Troll Camp. This is kind of like an intermission. You know, there's not really too much here. And then they surprised the fuck out of me by giving us the battle roads and the hard mode story missions all at the same time. I was like just expecting Orochi. Like, okay, Orochi, a couple of trial banners, and then we'll get everything else at the tail end. So I don't know who's planning this shit, but keep doing it. Just whatever you're doing, you just keep bringing this stuff out as you're doing it, and give us as little information as possible, because people being surprised is nice. It's better to have lesser expectations and then you just like give me everything, then I have my heart set on the moon and you fuck it up. So just you keep doing whatever you're doing. If it's Malcolm or somebody else, I don't know. Just please, just don't change. Don't change.
You heard Kage, Malcolm. Inform us less. Lower our expectations so that the mediocre deliveries are better.
We need it in this game. We really do.
Yeah, I completely agree. Because, yeah, they only told us about Orochi. And I was like, what? All right. I was making all sorts of smart-ass comments about how they should slow down the content. Because, obviously, I want there to be more.
They showed you.
Yeah, I mean, they gave me... oh, shit, I'm getting a... Should be fine. They gave us the slime, inorganic, and undead, which is great because they said they would in June. So awesome, and we can finish ranking up all of our guys now. Hold on a second.
And they also gave a way to farm Wackolite and Belrith a little bit easier. I mean, I haven't even gotten those 2 to 8 Awakening 5. They're still at 4 for me, so I may take a couple of swipes a day just to see if I get one on a better rate on the hard modes.
You give me 30 seconds. I'll need to be right back.
Okay.
Pause.
We'll pause. Let's see what Kage's saying. Yes, Kage, this works. Oh, let's see what you got here. We'll take a look. This may be a preview for the next little roast for next week. Let's see. Oh, no. Hold on a second. Let me fix this. Oh, you use Imager. I remember using this when I was like 14. That's cute, Kage. That's messed up. Why would you ban Kage? Oh, never mind. You should. He totally told you to go fuck yourself. I would totally ban him at that point. What a disrespectful little prick. Oh, let's see here. You've got 8K gems. Rye is probably sitting on, if I had to guess, I would say Rye's probably around 55K gems right now, total. If I had to guess. Because he's been saving forever. Unless he got drunk one night and just blew
Okie dokie.
Welcome back.
What did I miss?
Well, not much. Kage sent me a screenshot, so we'll do him next week. We'll probably go over his account and stuff. And
cool.
Just Kage, my butler, my bitch.
Do we need to do it in an English accent the whole time?
I guess we can get some tea or something.
What's the one that makes you better? Like, what's like the hierarchy of English accents? Like, there's the Queen's English. That's when you're like sophisticated high society, and then what's the low class one? Help me out, Kage.
Cockney or something? I don't know.
Cockney, yes. Cool. Tea time next week.
Tea time with Kage.
Right on. So we were talking about the content that just got released and kind of our expectations. That's, it's cool what they delivered to us. I was looking forward to the Juliante banner, but this is fine, because I only have like 10,000 gold right now, so it is kind of nice to be able to farm up some stuff, even though now we're spending it all on ranking up the rest of our stuff. So that's fine. Which leads me to the question of Juliante, right? First of all, is that how you pronounce her name? Juliante?
I don't know,
Juliante?
and I'm from Jersey, so I don't know how to pronounce
I
things
don't know.
correctly anyway, so I'm the wrong guy to ask for any of this shit. I'll probably butcher it worse than anybody else.
Where are you, Kage?
Oh, for pronouncing it, it probably... Nah, I'm the wrong guy to ask for that. I'm from Jersey, so I would butcher the shit out of that. It just wouldn't happen.
Right
Hey,
on. Anyway,
Kage
so
saying he got it right, though.
okay, great. If the English guy said I got it right, then that means, yeah. For some reason, people with English accents have more credibility. So,
Well, he's a doctor.
oh, he is. Oh, okay, great. Um, so here's the question: Juliante, is she a furry or not?
Let me go take a look at the picture and hope I don't find anything fucked up and put it on here.
So I'm gonna go with no, and that's I don't know. It just looks like a human wearing a costume, you know, like there's bunny ears, right, and a tail, but that could be attached. I'm going with no.
I mean, shit, she looks like she could be out of an anime of Naruto or something, and that wasn't even like a furry, so... Yeah. And I don't know if she has a tail or not, and I kind of don't want to see her backside, because that's just weird. I'm just going to go with no.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go with no.
Okay. Okay. Cool. That takes a little bit of the stigma off. Because waifu factor pretty good on Juliante, gotta say. Apparently, Pack Demon says she's a moth demon by the looks of it. So Pack Demon's got like special Armenian mystical knowledge, so I'm gonna go ahead and believe what he's saying.
I mean, well, if she's a moth demon, then what do they call people who are attracted to insects? Like, I don't know what to... How does it even work at that point? It's just weird.
Let's see here. Insectophilia. Probably. There's got to be some crazy name for it. Yeah, I think that's actually what it is. No, it's uh formicophilia. All right, cool. So that's Summerfest. So that's probably coming up. I was looking at the banners. It ends June 13th for Zoma's banner, and there's another one that ends, I think, that day. No, the rest of them end on the 28th. So it could be that June 13th is when the Juliante banner comes out. And then we'll get maybe Summer/Beast Festival then.
Right, because that's what's
And
throwing me off, is because we have those two banners that were for the Dragon Quest Day ending on the 13th, and generally whenever a banner ends, we always get something new. But at the same time, those were kind of just thrown in there at the last minute, I feel like, and the real banners we got to look at are the ones on the 28th.
yeah, yeah.
So
I
I
hope
don't
we don't
know.
have to wait that long. I
Well,
hope so.
I hope they don't tell us and they bring us something on the 13th. I'm just going to go with that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I agree with that. That's a good wrap up subject here. So the pace of content. We talked about this a little bit on the first week, but and you said, and this is pretty funny. You said that this is the first game where people have bitched about there being too much content. Um, you know, like every other gacha game, it's like everyone's like thirsty for more content, right?
Right, it's like
Yeah.
they're in a desert and they can't find an oasis to save their lives. They've drank all the water. It's been gone for 2 months, and nobody's told them if they're ever going to get any more. Instead, here it's like, well, we're just going to take a host to you. Have fun.
So what is it about Dragon Quest Tact? Like, why are we seeing a slowdown on the content attitude in the community? Riddle me this.
I
Is
wonder
it
if...
just like
I don't
is it
know. It's hard because maybe it's people are starting to see the content and the difficulty of it, and they're like, please God, don't give me any more of this right now. I need to like prepare and figure out how I'm going to get over the next hurdle. because Pizarro's Peak was like a wake up call for some people. It beat the shit out of them. Like there's people in
Mm.
here, and people on Discord don't have the flail, and it's like,
Mm.
well, what were you doing? Were you being like Lucas, being like, well, I don't want to do battle roads. They're scary, I, I, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It's weird because there are games out there where I've seen, and I've gone back and I've played them again after like a year or two, and it's barely a notice. Or I'll play the game and I'll be done in a week and a half of content after I left the game for a year. Here, if I did that, I'd come back and I wouldn't know what to do. I'd probably be so confused. I'd be sitting for months just trying to break even to get back up to where I was, which that's a good thing. I mean, you don't want to play a game where there's nothing happening. That's how games
Right.
die.
Yeah.
The game that's getting constantly updated, they're working on it. They're putting money into it. They're doing a lot with it. It's when things aren't getting updated, people aren't even talking to you at that point, and you're wondering, well, what's going on? Are they going to keep this afloat? I mean, I don't know what the communication was for Dragon Quest of the Stars, and I try and use that as a good baseline. But in that game's example, does anybody know if they were like just kind of pulling back at some point, or less updates, less communication? Like what
Good question.
happened? Does anybody know? Because I'm interested to know that.
What was the feeling in the air like in the month leading up to the announcement? That's a great question. I would like to know.
Because I mean, that would also put some of the doom and gloom we've had in the past to bed, where people were worried like, oh, is this game going to make enough money, or is this game going to have enough people, or what's going on? Well, I've never seen a game shut down aside from licensing issues. I have seen some licensing issues with like Friday the 13th. That was a great game, huge licensing debate. They were constantly updating the game, and they couldn't because their hands were tied. And even they kept the game going. They kept it up and running. But it's like, well, what happened? Why did this game die? What was going on? And I've never seen a game that's just constantly throwing out content, constantly pushing this game. Maybe not as much on social media as they should. Maybe not some other avenues for advertising. But they're still pushing the game and they're still making improvements to it. And they even had an event for it for the 35th anniversary of Dragon Quest. They included it in it. They didn't have it on the live stream, mind you, but they included it in that little, I don't know if you want to call it like the biodome or the ecosystem of the Dragon Quest. So it's there, and I don't know if they would have done that for some of the other games. Like would they? I don't know, because I barely played Dragon Quest of the Stars. I went through that game's content in like 2 weeks, and I never looked back except once. And then when I came back, I wasn't impressed with what they had, and I just uninstalled it. So
Right.
I don't know.
If you run out of stuff to strive for, that's when you lose people.
Right, because it's like, why to log in? What should I? Why should I even play this? Like, what's the point? I've done everything.
It's almost the reason why, like, what is it, like some percentage of lottery winners end up broke and depressed and kill themselves because they just end up with nothing left to strive for, and then they spend it all on drugs and prostitutes, and then they end up broke, and now they've tasted the life, they can't have it anymore, so why bother? It's kind of like that. It's just like when you're lonely at the top, there's just, the chase is fun. No, God, I didn't mean to say it like that.
I don't think any girl's ever said that.
Oh, sorry, Chase. You're just getting shit on all the time.
I'm not.
Actually, today I think Lucas has got a little bit worse than Chase, but we can fix that next week. We'll go back to Chase. Kidding. The pursuit is the fun part, like for me, like one of the funnest things that they came out recently was I maybe had like 500,000 gold saved up before rank 6, and that was, I remember I was at the gym just doing my the cardio, and so that's usually when I play Dragon Quest for really hardcore active play. I remember just spending most of that stash on rank up, and it was like, oh, the dopamine, I want more. Right? It was like I was so depressed that I ran out of rank up materials. So
I was actually happy that they did it that way too with the rank 6, because I don't remember Japan, from what people were telling me, they didn't give him like those little bundles of 50 rank ups for everything. So I was thinking, well, how are they going to do this? They're only going to give us
Well,
like
they also released all the hard quests at the same time for Japan, so they didn't really need
ah,
those
gotcha.
per
So
se.
we got kind of a nice benefit then in a way that because everybody's saying, well, Japan gets special treatment. Well, when you think about it, the amount of materials we got that we would have had to have farmed, I mean, we probably saved like 1,000 to 2,000 stam, just from
Yeah, a
that
lot of
alone.
stamina saved. The only downside was we had to be super, super careful with who from the other families that you couldn't farm about who to rank up, you know?
Right, I was stuck on a few. I was actually debating putting Hell Gladiator to 6
Hmm.
as this event started, and then I realized I had spent all my my rank up materials again. Like I had plenty now to do it again. Nope, I dropped them all on the Battle Roads guys already, so
Yeah.
now I got to go back and farm more.
Like if they release S-Dark next week, or they're not going to, but say they do, I don't have any more of those orbs.
I don't either.
So
I've got
I
fucked.
would have to uninstall the game and quit and shit on the developers. So
Well, I wish some other people would do that.
or I could just keep playing the game and continue making content and then still shit on the developers, even though anyway.
Even though you don't like the game and you'd rather
Even though I
go
hate
play
the
a
game, I'll
match
just keep
3.
playing it. Yeah, so
I know a couple of good games you can play, like Candy Crush is pretty good. That'd be up your alley. Dokkan Battle, stuff of that nature.
not not being specific here, but
No, 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 no.
like I think some folks, that company included, like if you just continue stripping away the layers of what you don't have, like I wish there were more orbs, I wish there were more gold, I wish I didn't have to do this, I wish I didn't do that. And if you were to just continue to give ground on that attitude, you would eventually end up with just tic-tac-toe. Maybe not even that. I don't want to have to use two different symbols.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Could you imagine that? A game where you can't have any sort of challenge. You only use a couple of units. Everything else is barred from it. And
Yeah.
Arena is a complete fuckfest. Oh,
Well,
well,
it would be just like a MOBA, because you just everyone starts off with the same shit. It's just like, guys, this is a role playing game. You ever play one of those where you start off level 1 with jack shit, and then you have to work, spend time and spend resources to level up your shit? That's like at least half of the role playing game meta, you know?
right. And I
Um,
don't know a role playing game where you're not spending at least 40 hours, even on like a console game or something on the lower end, where you started off the first couple hours, you weren't really sure what to do, you weren't really sure what type of fight you could pick or what the extent of your abilities were, and by the end of the game, you're just going into the town and just fucking everybody up. You're taking out the
right.
town guards, the NPCs, everybody, and
Yeah,
that's a great feeling. You worked up to that, you built that up. You weren't wondering, well, I don't have enough materials to craft these items, or I don't have enough materials to do this. Fuck this game. I'm going to go play something else. Like, no, you played through the fucking game.
yeah, you figure it out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Anyway, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse on that one, but
wish it
we're
wasn't
2 minutes out. Any last words? Any more Lucas bashing or Chase bashing you want to slip in?
I would rather just bash Zero instead, and if he is using an APK, I fucking hate you, you piece of shit. Like,
Yeah, we pretty much know. If you see a team that has Bone Bear and a Devil Moth, what they're doing is they're probably using an APK, pumping spell potency up or whoosh potency up, because those two units have 4 movement, and then swoosh, which is a really good AoE. You can pump out the potency, and then one-shot everybody with those 2 units. That's why those units are. And if you see Bone Bear and Devil Moth or mismatched gear, then that's when you know you have cheaters. So that said, there are some actual other humans tied with me in first place this week, so obviously the majority are not. So
right, and
there we go.
I got to take a look at Oink's video the other day. I went over it on stream. I looked at the position of how this guy was set up, and I'm like, no, there's no way you're legitimately getting
Yeah.
128.
I saw that.
You've got one of your units in the back. You don't have anybody on the other side to kind of like evenly apply pressure. You're not really playing this game, and if you are, you're definitely not doing it legitimately. So that's
Yeah.
one thing I would like to have some communication on what they're doing in that regard, because otherwise, what happens 2 months from now when everybody and their mom starts doing that, and you can't get to top 50 because, well, everybody's just kind of going the same fucking route.
Right on, right on. Exactly, exactly. I hope more people don't find this stupid cheating tool. But Anyway, thanks, folks, for another fun hour. Thank you, Kage. So we're gonna roast Kaga next week. Please tell us anything else you'd like to talk about. So I gotta sign off here.
All right, Nib, thank you for joining. We'll wrap this up. Next week we'll beat on the British, even though the U.S. government has done that for years. Take care, folks. See you next time.